The Gnostic story of creation. Today we're going to talk about an unusual story. A story where it's out of the ordinary actually. Something where you'll have to forget about what you've been told, what you've learned, and open yourself up to a new story. It's something where we all have to unlearn to learn. So today we're going to talk about Gnosticism. I know you guys might be not, some of you guys might not be familiar with the term, but let's delve in. Gnosticism, a diverse religion and philosophical movement that flourished in the 1st and 2nd century CE, offers a unique and intriguing myth that differs significantly from traditional Judeo-Christian narratives. This myth, characterized by complex symbolism and intricate cosmology, provides an alternative understanding of the origin of the universe, the nature of humanity, and the role of divine beings. A key characteristic of Gnosticism, in its emphasis on personal spiritual knowledge, also known as gnosis, above the orthodox teachings, traditions, and authority of religious institution. Gnosticism, derived from the Greek word gnosis, meaning knowledge, proposes that humans have a piece of God, in other words, the highest good or divine spark within themselves, which has fallen from the immaterial world into bodies of humans. Gnostics viewed the material world as flawed and subject to decay, existing as a kind of prison for the divine element within humans. They sought salvation through gnosis, a mystical or esoteric knowledge of the divine. In the 2nd century CE, various Gnostic Christian sects emerged, each with its own unique interpretation of the creation myth and the nature of the universe. Some prominent Gnostic sects include key figures and concepts in the Gnostic creation myth. The creation myth features a cast of divine beings and intricate concepts that shape its narratives. Some of the key figures and concepts include the monad. The monad, a supreme, unknowable God, often described as a monarchy with nothing above it. The monad is the ultimate source of all existence and transcends human comprehension. And then we have Sophia, also known as the God of wisdom, a divine being often depicted as a feminine figure. In many Gnostic texts, Sophia emanates from the monad. Sophia's actions play a crucial role in the creation of the material world and humanity's fall from grace. For example, in the Apocryphon of John, Sophia, acting without the consent of the monad, attempts to generate a creation of her own, resulting in the birth of the demiurge. The demiurge, a flawed and ignorant creator god, often associated with the God of the Old Testament in Christian beliefs. The demiurge is responsible for creating the material world, which Gnostics view as imperfect and corrupt. And then we have the aeons, divine beings that emanate from the monad and inhabit the pleroma, the realm of spiritual fullness. Each aeon embodies a specific divine attribute or quality. The archons, rulers or authorities who govern the material world and keep human souls trapped in their physical bodies. The archons are often depicted as malevolent beings who serve the demiurge. In the hypostasis of the archons are described as having both male and female bodies and the heads of beasts. The pleroma, in the realm of spiritual fullness and perfection, inhabited by the aeons and emanating from the monad. The pleroma represents the true home of the divine spark within humans. And the kenoma, the visible or manifest cosmos, the material world that is lower than the pleroma. And then, last but not least, charisma, a gift or energy bestowed by pneumatics through oral teachings and personal encounters. These key figures and concepts interact in a complex cosmic drama that unfolds in the Gnostic creation myth. Let's dive deeper into the fascinating concept of the monad and its relationship with the aeons. Now, imagine the monad as a radiant sun, a source of all light and life. From the sun emanate countless rays of light, each representing an aeon. These aeons are not separate entities, but rather extensions of the monad itself. They are both from the monad and carry its essence within them. Just as every ray of sunlight contains the same energy as the sun, so too does each aeon share in the divine nature of the monad. Furthermore, the monad exists not only within each aeon, but also as a totality of all aeons. Think of the human body as an analogy. Each cell contains the DNA of the whole body, and the whole body itself is the sum of all its cells. Similarly, the monad is present in each aeon, and the monad is the collective whole of all aeons. The relationship between the monad and the aeons is dynamic and interactive. The monad is constantly communicating with the aeons, providing them with guidance, knowledge, and energy. This connection can be likened to a vast network of information, where the monad is the central hub and the aeons are the interconnected nodes. However, this communication is not always perfect. There can be distortions, misunderstanding, or even rebellions. This imperfections allows for a degree of autonomy and individuality amongst the aeons. They are not simply puppets of the monad, but active participants in the cosmic drama. The interplay between the monad and the aeons is a dance of unity and diversity. of order and chaos, of light and shadow. It is a reflection of the multifaceted nature of reality itself. The three types of humans in Gnosticism believed that there were three types of humans, each with different capacities for spiritual understanding and salvation. First, we have the Hylic, the lowest order of humans, characterized by their material focus and inability to comprehend gnosis. Gnostics believed they could not be saved. And then we have the psychic, also known as soulful humans, who are partially initiated and have the potential for spiritual growth. They dwell in the material world but possess a spiritual element. And lastly, we have the pneumatic, spiritual humans who are fully initiated and possess immaterial souls. They are capable of escaping the material world through gnosis. This categorization reflects the Gnostic emphasis on spiritual knowledge and varying levels of human understanding. We're going to have a look at the origins and influence of Gnosticism. While the exact origin of Gnosticism remains uncertain, scholars suggest that it emerged from a blend of Jewish Christian, Hellenistic, and possibly Persian influences. Gnostic ideas share similarities with early Christian sects, Jewish mystical tradition, the Neoplatonic philosophy, and even Buddhist concept. The presence of Jewish Christian origins is suggested by the identification of many Gnostic schoolheads in the Jewish Christians by church fathers and use of and the use of Hebrew words and names of gods in some Gnostic systems. Additionally, Gnostic cosmogonic speculations have partial origins in Jewish mystical tradition, like Mesa, Bresit, and Mesa Mekaba. So, the suppression of Gnostic texts. Why was Gnosticism suppressed, and why is it only evolving now? We're going to have a look at the suppression and the evolvement of these texts. Gnosticism was suppressed and hidden for centuries due to a combination of factors, primarily the rise of Orthodox Christianity and its condemnation of Gnostic beliefs as heretical. Gnostics Christians held views that differed significantly from the developing Christian orthodoxy, including a dualistic worldview that saw the material world as flawed and created by a lesser deity. This challenged the orthodox Christian view of a single, benevolent God and the goodness of creation. Furthermore, Gnostics emphasized spiritual knowledge, gnosis, as the path to salvation, often rejecting the authority of institutional church and its sacraments. This emphasis on individual experience and esoteric knowledge clashed with the growing emphasis on church authority and standardized doctrines within Orthodox Christianity. As Christianity gained prominence and became the official religion of the Roman Empire, Gnostics beliefs were increasingly marginalized and suppressed. Church leaders actively sought to eradicate Gnostic texts and teachings, leading to their disappearance for centuries. The resurgence of Gnosticism in the modern era is significant for several reasons. Rediscovery of Gnostic text. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library in 1945 brought light to the collection of Gnostic text, providing valuable insights to their beliefs and practices. This discovery sparked renewed interest in Gnosticism and its alternative perspective on Christianity. Appeal to individualism. Gnosticism emphasis on personal spiritual experience and direct knowledge to the divine resonates with modern values of individualism and self-discovery in a world where traditional religious institutions are often questioned. Gnosticism offers an alternative path to spiritual seeking. Relevant to contemporary issues, Gnostic ideas about the nature of reality, the human condition, and the search for meaning continue to be relevant in the modern world. Gnosticism explorations of themes like alienation, the search for truth, and the struggle against oppressive forces resonates with contemporary concerns. Philosophical inquiry. Gnosticism, complex cosmology, and philosophical ideas provide further ground for intellectual exploration. Its engagements with questions about the nature of God, the origin of the universe, and the meaning of human existence continue to stimulate philosophical inquiry. The return of Gnosticism in the modern era offers the opportunity to re-examine early Christian history and explore alternative spiritual paths. Its emphasis on personal experience, esoteric knowledge, and the search for meaning within the flawed world continues to resonate with those seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and the universe. The Gnostic creation myth. In many Gnostic texts, the creation myth begins with the monad, the supreme and unknowable God, existing in a state of perfect unity and fullness. From the monad emanates a series of divine beings, earlier discussed, the aeons, including Sophia. Now, Sophia, driven by a desire to create without her consort of the monad, gives birth to a flawed being, the demiurge. The demiurge, ignorant of its true origin, creates the material world, which is a flawed imitation of the pleroma. He then creates Adam and Eve, trapping divine sparks within their physical bodies. A key insight of the Gnostic creation myth is that the material world is not inherently evil, but flawed because of the flawed nature of its creator, the demiurge. This contrasts with the biblical creation story where God creates a perfect world. In some various myths, Sophia, realizing her mistake, repents and seeks to redeem her creation. She sends a serpent to enlighten Adam and Eve, leading them to eat from the tree of knowledge to gain gnosis. This act of defiance against the demiurge marks the beginning of humanity's spiritual awakening. The Gnostic creation myths offers a different perspective on the biblical story of Adam and Eve, portraying the serpent as a liberator and the acquisition of knowledge as a step towards salvation. It also challenges the traditional view of God as the sole creator, introducing the concept of a flawed demiurge responsible for the imperfections of the material world. The Gnostic creation myth provides an explanation for the problem of evil by attributing to its flawed demiurge and the imperfect material world he created. All physical matter is subject to decay, rotting, and death. Gnostics believe that suffering and imperfection are inherently aspects of the material world due to its flawed creation. Furthermore, the Gnostic creation myth often incorporates the concept of Christ as a divine being who has taken human form in order to lead humanity back to the recognition of its own divine nature. This emphasizes the potential for spiritual awakening and the possibility of transcending the limitations of the material world. The concept of pleroma as an ordered system is central to understanding the emanation process of Gnostic cosmology. The pleroma, the realm of spiritual fullness, is not a chaotic or random collection of divine beings, but rather a structured hierarchy with subdivisions corresponding to virtues and qualities. This order reflects the inherent structure of the divine realm and the interconnectedness of the aeons. The Gnostic creation myth stands in contrast to other creation myths, such as the biblical creation story, in several key aspects. The nature of the Creator. While the biblical story depicts God as the sole, benevolent creator of all things, Gnostic myths introduces a flawed demiurge responsible for the material world. For example, in Genesis, God creates the world and declares it good, while in Gnostic myth, the demiurge creates a flawed world that is a pale imitation of the pleroma. In biblical narrative, humanity's fall from grace is attributed to disobedience and sin, exemplified by Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit, while in Gnostics myth, humanity's predicament stems from being trapped in a flawed material world created by the demiurge. What is the significance of knowledge? The biblical story portrays the acquisition of knowledge as a source of sin and separation from God, as seen in the story of Adam and Eve, while the Gnostic myth, on the other hand, views gnosis as the path to salvation and liberation from the material world. These differences highlight the unique perspective of the Gnostic creation myth and its challenge to traditional religious narratives. Scholars have analyzed and interpreted the Gnostic creation myth from various perspectives, offering, offering insights into its symbolism, origin, and significance. One interpretation suggests that Sophia, the divine being associated with wisdom, serves as an allegory for divine wisdom itself. Her actions, particularly her attempt to create without her consort or the monarch's consent, symbolize the potential for a divine wisdom to become entangled in the material world and lead to imperfection. Furthermore, the Gnostic view of the cosmos as flawed and imperfect reflects a broader theme of anti-cosmic world rejection that categorizes many Gnostic texts. This perspective challenges the traditional understanding of the material world as inherently good and emphasizes the Gnostic pursuit of spiritual liberation from the constraints of material existence. In conclusion, the Gnostic creation myth, with its complex symbolism and intricate cosmology, offers a compelling alternative to to, tra- to traditional creation narratives. It challenges the conventional understanding of its origin of the universe, the nature of humanity, and the role of divine beings. By exploring the key figures and concepts of this myth, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity of religious thoughts in the ancient world and the enduring fascination with the mysteries of creation. This exploration of Gnostic creation myth has provided a comprehensive overview of its key elements, drawing on a variety of scholarly sources and Gnostic texts. The myth represents a unique perspective on the nature of the Creator, the role of humanity, and the significance of knowledge. It challenges traditional religious narratives and offers an alternative understanding of the human condition and the pursuit of spiritual liberation. The various Gnostic texts, the various Gnostic sects, with their diverse interpretations of the myth, contribute to a rich tapestry of religious thoughts that continues to intrigue and inspire. The Gnostic creation myth, despite its suppression by Orthodox Christianity, remains a testament to the enduring human quest for meaning and the search for divine for the divine within a flawed and imperfect world. Its influence can be seen in various mystical and esoteric traditions throughout history and continues to resonate with those seeking alternative spiritual paths. If you enjoyed this creation myth, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, thank you.